Let's hope I have a second tool at least prepare. This is where it happened. It was here that I conducted rituals, searing my soul and the essence of the abyss together, feeling the world change around me as every stitch brought Galarian closer to the abyss. And it was here that, even though you have no memory of it, I did the same to your soul. A researcher must not have any personal feelings or the subject of their experiments, and yet I find myself unable to remain completely detached from the Worldwound. I created it and I allowed it to be held a place in my heart, and even if I'm slowly paying for it with my life. A researcher must be particularly resilient in the face of mistakes. Incorrect hypotheses and failed experiments. You are my failed experiments. I think I'll feel some regret for ending your current life, but you can rest assured that such experiments will not stop me. I can tell you've been preparing for this place for the battle, but there's more to it, right? Am I right? I sense barrier spells waiting to be activated, and there's nothing else, something deadly. Oh yeah, so adept at magic. Of course, I've been preparing for our meeting, and hopefully I've prepared well. You've done all this just to save your child? Yes, and no. Even if I could have brought back my daughter, I wouldn't have stopped at that. I wouldn't have been satisfied, not after what I would gone through, not after the things I've learned. I wanted to become stronger, and I wished the same for my children. Just give me a second. I don't want to be afraid of anything. It wasn't the dogs of Threshold, or even the curse itself that threatened us. It was the laws of the world. Governed by death. Governed by death, weakness, and separation. This is why I needed the power of the hindering crystals. I did not merely wish to stave off the agony of the Worldwound. I wanted to tear my daughter from the grasp of everything. That makes us weak and mortal. You have seen a goddess. You have been face to face with demon lords. Were you awed by their greatness? Do you enjoy living in a world where the entire life cycle has been predetermined? Where everything from your birth to what will happen to your soul and after you die has been decided for you? Or do you find, now that you have experienced the mythic power coursing through your blood, that you prefer to live in a world that you can change? A world that offers you the chance to be anything you want? I cannot justify your actions, but I understand them. I was content with my life as a mortal. The power is a burden to me, not a reward. Oh yes, this power is magnificent. I would choose no other fate. I enjoy having power, but it only allows me to make the world a better place. I gotta say, I'm going with, oh yes, the power is magnificent. I would choose no other fate. Yeah, that's what I think. That's kinda true for me. How strange, you're a kindred spirit. We are so alike. Perhaps the experiment wasn't such a failure in the end, but no. Why did you call me a failed experiment? When I poured what was left of daughter's soul into your soul, I was expecting it to bring her back. They say death and the judgment of Erasma purges the soul of everything it once was in life. But this cannot be true. I have researched the subject meticulously and have collected enough evidence to prove that supernatural beings born from mortal souls can recall their past, sometimes partially and sometimes fully. I watched you day and night, waiting for it to happen, for your memory to awaken, for your instincts at least, for anything familiar, something I could immediately recognize. I tested you, I asked you a question, and nothing. You emerged the remnants of your daughter soul within me, so why do you want to harm me? If a hypothesis is proven wrong, it needs to be rejected. But the research process does not stop there. That is all I can tell you right now. You've been carrying the wound in your soul for a long time. Does it mean you will die soon? It will kill me eventually, but I still have some time left, years or decades perhaps. But it doesn't matter. One of us will die today. What will happen if one of us steps into the wound? The tearing of the soul, followed by a cruel and terrible death. I will likely be quick. Yeah, I have no more questions. Then it's finally time to handle this. Go together. Stop the wound. Maybe killing our souls so we can find a way to solve this without bloodshed. Let's just try this one. Ask me to stop is like asking a river not to flow or a volcano not to erupt. Death is not the end. I have spent 100 years trying to prove it and I will not stop now. This experiment was unsuccessful, but that just means I need to adjust the initial conditions and try again. I am still alive, I still have time. You, the current you, will have to die, but only to surrender the soul you share with my daughter. I will start over. This time, I will do everything differently. I will work with even greater precision. I will turn the world upside down if I must. I promise. It's kind of rough that I can't pre-summon. That hurts me a lot, like character-wise. Oh, hey. Yeah, please don't mind. She's like always kind of crawling around behind me. Yeah, like that's kind of a thing which is like rough for me because I can't pre-summon and such. Because I'm playing a Herald Caller on my cleric, and if I can't pre-summon, I'm having a harder time. I like a really hard time. Do we have true seeing on? God, she has insane reflexes and saves. Like, I probably never hit a normal, yeah, just wanted to say I never hit a spell. For real. Oh, that's the Kuram Sade again. Yeah, I should probably kill him first. It's getting close already, that's not great. We don't have haste, do we? No, we don't have haste. I'm going for Spike Rush, walking a bit away. I'm a little bit afraid what Areelu Vorlesh does. And that's kind of what I expected. It's like it's okay. It's a boss. Like it's a literally the end boss or whatever boss it is. Like it's probably the end boss. Like I was expecting it.
Guide my hand.
And I didn't even have like resistance and protection and shit on. So that was like my bad actually. See what he does. He probably has a insane AoE as well. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Can I heal like a lot? Trying this one. This one. Oh, that's for one? Oh no, oh wow, I thought this for everyone. Oh god, I'm terrible. I can't read. Let's just go for one heal mass. And we will see what she does again. Okay, this was fine. It was like, wasn't too bad. To be honest, it wasn't too bad. And I've got to say, her armor class is not that high. Like, she has, of course, like reflex saves and such, but like the armor class, I think the armor class is worse. Like for me, in my current like party I have. Does she still have query? I think she does.
Make your peace.
Yeah, query twice. Should be fine. The things like I just have to keep them like high HP, that they just don't die from like one weird ass spell. Let me just... Can she do some healing stuff? Like scrolls? Scroll of cleanse? Scroll of heal. What's all this? Scroll of heal. They have like mass heal? This is resurrection 2. I don't have mass heal, unfortunate. Let's summon.
Is irrational.
What does she have? Like she has Firestorm. Yeah. Yeah, we will just go for the heal scrolls again. Like we just give her like 5 heal scrolls and she can just heal herself the whole time. She's probably not hitting anything anyways because of the heal. Because of the high saves. Okay.
The inheritor, guide my blade.
What was the other thingy here? What I had? Okay. Going for protection from fire. Damn, of course she goes for lightning then. Unfortunate. God damn, that was a lot of damage. Holy hell.
This condition is irrational.
I'm literally just healing my healer. No, oh wait, I have an idea. We're doing something else. Scroll of Resurrection, a Rochelet. There we go. We will just attack on this one.
Glory without risk.
I think I'll just attack. I mean, I probably don't hit. Yeah, okay, this was like not a good idea. Yeah, that was like a bad idea. Can go in here. Ah, we can't move. Sad.
Legs are shaking. Peculiar.
What was this? I don't know what she just did. There's nothing. It's all standard action, huh? Yeah, I need the attacks. Yo, Ashi, hi. Oh. Chalet. Just doing a query again in attack.
Prepare yourself.
Oh, not much I can do. What do we have here? It's going for truth. I just try to buff Areelu again, like mid-fight. I just hope she doesn't do like... She doesn't do like some weird shit and just revives herself again or whatever, like this, you know, this weird ass Pathfinder stuff. Ja, deswegen spielt man das Spiel auch nicht im Moment. Außer auf dem Roller. Das ist so. Okay. Horsey, stand up. No. She's dead. Okay. let me just resurrect.
This condition is
Holy freaking hell. Like with every round she's on the turn, I have to... Whoa! Did we just crit? Yeah, nah, there's no way. I never thought that I would be responsible for the creation of my most powerful enemy. Such as, can see you, Switcher, show yourself. Oh, hi Switcher. I've been waiting for you to get distracted so I can stab you in the back. I've uncovered your plan. The spell is in this chamber. They are designed to kill you if something goes wrong. You've been preparing for this outcome from the start, am I right? How very perceptive, but you didn't think I would make it easy, did you? I won't let you win. You need me alive. I want to use me. You want to use me to close one, but I can destroy myself before you have a chance. Areelu, this is madness and an act of evil, and it is absolutely pointless. You won't accomplish anything. Is this really how you would wish to go? Don't do this. I'll stop you by force if necessary, so don't embarrass yourself with these pathetic attempts to prevent it. Okay, that is pretty shitty because I have to roll a 20. Like, I have to literally roll a 20. Like, this is the max roll, and that's awful. So, I'm gonna say I have to do the you are welcome to try. Certainly. Lily, I will fight for you. I'm not going to flee for my life. You need to seal the wound, don't you? You think you won? No, we have both lost.
Our victory is certain.
Okay, I guess she pulled some weird shit. Areelu Vorlesh, flaming copy of Areelu Vorlesh. Suture.
Guide my hand.
Can I attack?
You should have run.
She's dead. Okay, how strong are they? You can't tell me those are the same. Nah, there's no fucking way. Those are 5 of them? Like, there's... Nah, come on.
I think I've been wounded.
Am I even able to win this fight, like, at all? It doesn't look like I can win this one. Like, there's this just... Do you have to lose it? That's like the next thing I'm asking. Like, do you have to lose it? Like, I don't think so. I don't think you have to lose it. Just, but like, this fight is horrible. Oh, Nanny is dead. Unfortunate. How do you want to win this? Like, nah. Okay. Well, okay, I'm just like, this is my first try. Let's see. Is there something special about those? The thing is, they have so much stuff. They have so much con, they have so much int, they have so much fortitude, they have more AC. Holy hell. Doesn't seem like this has weaknesses. Like everything is immune. You have like so many spells and such. Wow, that's awful. Still, I'm still like wondering if you even have to win this. Ah, wait. Ah, wait. I get it. I get it. I have to survive. Like, that's it. I just have to survive.
One with the shadows.
Is this the round favorite? This is Abyss. I think it is.
A mere flesh wound.
Resurrection. Let's check this one. Resurrection. 1, 2. Let's just get a resurrection done. Oh no, she's alive still. Who can we resurrect? Nenyo, Arushale. I think we're going for. Yeah, let's go. Can resurrect with Tafleur as well. We can just go for another res. Direction. Or Arushale. Okay, what? That's crazy. So she literally starts with killing herself instead of like instead of like fighting in the end. With every like 2 more turns probably is what I need. I would assume. Oh, but my mouse is like lagging as hell. There's like there's so many animations, like the engine is lagging as hell. Can she cast resurrection? I don't think so. Resur. Oh.
Someone else should use it. I shall keep it for someone else.
That's it. Hello. Game tapped out. Tapped out. I think I have a high. No, she can't. No, okay. Unfortunate. She's her and it's getting more damage, huh? Going for a big pot. Why is it always on the wrong character? Like that's just weird stuff. Like I'm always wondering why I can't do shit, and it's like it's literally on the wrong character. Yeah, just take it for yourself.
A mere flesh wound.
Couldn't Ivu raise death? I'm just curious. Like Ivu could raise death. Yeah, resurrection. I'm just going as far away as I can. So they can AoE me down. Like that's probably the play. I'm still not sure what I should think about this fight. The cane flames disappear in an instant, as if they were erased rather than extinguished. Body of Areelu, architect of the Worldwound, betrayer of humanity, stumps to the floor, leaving you alone with her greatest work, the Worldwound. It requires another mythic path. Summon the island and step into the Worldwound. Throughout my journey to this moment, I have protective life, goodness, and freedom, and I will not stop now. I will be the living source that will heal this dying land, even if I have to pay with my own life. It's like this Azata thing, so we're going with the Azata thing. Like, let's see what is happening. We'll probably die here, and then the game is over. Which would suck, to be honest. Yes. Oh, it says that a rainbow. Maybe I get him reborn in like Elysium. Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, the search for one's true path. The mind can comprehend all of these, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it is time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period at the end of the last sentence. The impossible rift, the bleeding wound that had tormented all of Golarion for 100 years, was finally healed. The great deed demanded a great sacrifice. The life of the one known as the commander of the Fifth Crusade. Her cause, her death shook minds and souls, not just on Golarion and in the Abyss, but on the other planes as well, and even in the Hall of Gods. Another perished, but shortly after her followers were visited by the same dream. The goddess Desna, tears falling from her eyes, carried a ravaged soul in her hand. Then a tiny spark appeared within the soul, and she placed it in the night sky. That night, a new star really did appear over the skies over Golarion, and was named after the commander. It is not always visible, but should a traveler get lost in a blizzard or a ship run into a fogbank near dangerous reef, and the star will miraculously wink into existence, illuminating the path to safety. The Wind of Elysium became a harbinger of renewal for the lands of the former wound. The corruption-torn wastes became lush once more, and where lava lakes once steamed, there grew groves of towering trees. Some of the vegetation seemed to have come straight from a dream. This rejuvenated land became a frontier of sorts for the bold and foolhardy. People would go there to hunt dangerous predators in the wilds and bizarre forests. Every step of the way would be perilous, but the reward would be great indeed. The three Crusaders did not stay together for long. Their main goal had been achieved, but there were still plenty of places left in the world where injustice was rampant, where courage and imagination were needed. Scarental and his treants had their branches full. They had to take care of the new, rapidly growing forests. Scarental, during his time as a free commander, came to understand and even love city customs in his own way. He often dropped by Dresden and even officially adopted all the teenagers from the commander's court, and he cared for them just as selflessly as if they were his own trees. The fate of the Mimic Crusaders was most astonishing of all. They formed their Sorry. They formed their own knightly order, then changed their mind and decided to become pirates, then settled on being pirate knight acrobats. They sailed the seas on a massive ship, quite possibly another mimic, singing shanties, juggling cutlasses, saving beautiful damsels, and on rare occasions boarding someone they didn't like. Aivu, inconsolable after losing her best friend, was taken from the ruins of the threshold by the three crusaders. Before long, a group of Asatas arrived to return the dragon to Elysium. Much later, all grown up, Aivu went off on her own adventures. She traveled the plains, bravely helping good souls in distress, and of course seeking out places where they baked the best cookies. Although the commander became the symbol of the Fifth Crusade, there were still those among the Crusaders who were dissatisfied with her decisions. Okay, wow. This is so bad. I thought like my crusade was great. My crusade was probably shit. Like when I read this one, there's no way. Years later, their words served in a basis for many alternate versions of the history of the struggle against the Worldwound. The Iskari forces respected the arrangement and left occupied Mendev when the war was over. Oddly enough, many were saddened by this. The Iron Order imposed by the stern Iskari was the best possible remedy for a nation that had been at war for a whole century. With the conclusion of the war, Dresden and the heroic fortress of Crusaders began to wane in importance. The memories of the gruesome battles faded. The deeds of the brave were forgotten. A mere century later, Dresden had once again become just another northern garrison, and the legacy of the Fifth Crusade began to slip into obscurity. Queen Galfrey returned to Nerosian with the intent to rule Mendev as before, but as it turned out, Mendevian society was hungry for a change. The war-ravaged nation desired new leadership, but the queen would not countenance yielding her authority to anyone else. She believed her duty to her homelands and had not yet been fulfilled. Upon his return to Genabris, Ramian did all he could to heal the wounds left by the war. The city saw an influx of pilgrims who wanted to be close to the glory of the Crusaders. Alas, those pilgrims were followed by spies, criminals and cultists. The Eagle Watch was barely able to keep up with the cloak and dagger war that broke out in the city's underground. The woods from the chain that once guarded the borders of Mendev were carefully disassembled. One by one, the angels had been trapped inside returned to heaven to heal their wounded spirits and prepare for new battles against evil. The victory over the Worldwound changed many things, not just on Golarion, but on the Midnight Isle as well. Noctilia spent many days pondering the words of a certain young and fearless prophet. Oh, okay, we got like Ember influencer, cool. Before long, the Lady in Shadow openly renounced her realm and named herself the Redeemer Queen. This revolt against her own demonic nature transformed her. Kikla severed her ties to the Abyss and brought her to Elysium. Thereupon creating a realm named Midnight's Palette. The Redeemer Queen attained divine power and became the patroness of exiles. The now vacant throne was instantly seized by Shamira, the Ardent Dream. However, her power could not compare to the might of the Lady in Shadow. The Midnight Isle, which had become a tempting prize for many demons, were plunged into chaos. The Demon Lord Baphomet suffered a defeat. The Worldwound was closed, and the convenient passage to Golarion was sealed along with it. Baphomet shifted his attention to his realms, to the realms of the other demon lords. A cell of the Templars to the Ivory Labyrinth was soon discovered in Alushin Shira. With the electable prince destroyed, the power of the Lord of the Labyrinth began to wane. Many demon lords turned their attention to the weakened Baphomet, who was forced to defend his title as a demon lord in battles for which he was not prepared. The demon lord Iskari suffered a defeat. He bided in his time continuing to plot his invasion of Golarion, after that of heaven itself. The cultists that remained on Golarion went mad one after another, tortured by the nightmarish dreams that their lord sent to them. The spirit of the demon lord, Nahindri, remained bound to his black heart. Distant wails can sometimes be heard in the wind that blows over the midnight isle built upon his remains. The demons, however, care little or no at all. The commander's escapade in Alashinshira left lasting impressions on its denizens. Under Seglek's management, the battle bliss gradually fell into decline. Audience had grown bored of ordinary gladiator fights, and the Nahindran League closed due to a lack of members. Realizing that his talents as an arena steward would never be appreciated in the Abyss, Seglek sold the battle bliss and used the proceeds to relocate to Hell, where he finally found himself a home. The flesh marks had been ravaged, but it proved impossible to completely destroy them. After the commander left Alashinshira, new slavers took over the stalls, and new shipments of slaves were chained to the platform. Christoph, the envoy of the Pathfinder Society, took advantage of the situation and rose to the top of the slave trade. He sold demons to other demons and used the proceeds to buy the freedom of mortal slaves. He soon founded the first Pathfinder Lodge in the Abyss. Despite numerous attempts to cut down, uproot, or burning the tree growing on the side of the ravaged flesh markets, nothing worked. It continued to grow at the heart of the Alashinshira, its roots going deep into the island. Some demons worried that one day the roots would grow through Ishia to the Maelstrom and sunder the plane of the Abyss. The unrelenting killer and vigilante known as Red Mask continued a purge of Alashinshira and assembled a full squad of Asima assassins. Demons enjoyed listening to stories of their bloody exploits. That is, until the assassins came to collect their heads. Life returned to Bolura's fall. The rushing river, awakened by the commander's power, washed over the wasteland and swept away the burial grounds surrounding the temple. When the water had ebbed, pilgrims began to arrive at the temple, wishing both to worship Bolura and honor the memory of the fallen defenders, to worship Bolura, who had held the line in obscurity for over a century. The lake by the temple gate always held the reflection of a starry sky, even in daylight, and at night, if anyone were to stand on the shore, they would hear an enchanting melody and distant bewitching singing. Gizmerha was true to her words. The Winter Sun clan left the land of their ancestors. Once they had left the borders of the former Sakoras, the clan split into several branches. One went to the wildlands of Numeria, others set off free for Varisia. A small group led by Gizmerha chose to travel to Andoran, where they were lost among the many refugees fleeing other lands and other wars. The Winter Sun clan ceased to be. Now alone. Nivea left, quietly unknown, leaving no notes or trace. No one ever saw her again. Shortly after the war against Ron, Avicen was struck by a series of frightening events. A magical storm woven from the four elements obliterated an entire city in Varisia. Then a horrible pestilence came to the lands of the Linum Kings, and after that, Arisen reported an outbreak of madness in their lands. The lunatics were all repeating the same ominous warning, word for word. The slaves have forgotten the hand of their master, but Aldapesh, wounded of wrath, has returned to remind them just how firm his grip is. Several hundred years later, after the conclusion of the Fifth Crusade, somewhere on another plane, far from the Abyss and Golarion, two runaway Lilithus met. Another chance. They met, never to part again. The sinister Numerian device the commander had captured in the Blackwater clan encampment ceased its work the moment its connections to its missile was severed. All the mortals it had subjugated fell where they stood dead. Many researchers, mostly from the Numerian Technic League, tried to restart the device. Their futile attempts ultimately caused it to explode, taking the life of the last of these unfinished scholars. The storyteller, as old as the tales he collected, continued to travel across Golarion and occasionally beyond. He knew that out there somewhere there was one story he would never find his own. Wow, you failed. Because I failed this one, okay. Being a Pathfinder who was also to be a talking weapon. Continues his travels in the hands of many warriors, seasons and otherwise. Throughout the following centuries, he was lost in battle on a number of occasions, only to be found in some fantastical treasure room on the other side of Golarion. Once again, Sela heard the call of the open road. Even after gaining mythic powers and coming face to face with a goddess and demon lords, she never stopped being a paladin and wandering a knight whose purpose was to help Sela to overcome her problems and and help her friends, to strengthen Sela's faith in herself and other people. Once the war was ended, Carmela grew bored and irritable. Shortly afterwards, on a moonless night, she vanished. About a month later, an assassin by the name of Maria arrived in Varizia. She had few things in common with the missing woman, apart from a fondness for cutting the hearts out of her victims. Oh? The question is like, is it her or is it like really the spirit she did talk to? Okay. After the death of August, the Graham estate fell into disrepair. August's will was never found, and all of his fortune passed to Mendev treasury. The name for the once proud Graham family was quickly forgotten. Ember joined the Redeemed Brotherhood. She never recognized herself as their leader or gave any orders, but her very presence inspired. You joined adventures convinced Ember to keep believing in the inherent goodness of people and not only people. The former miscreants to perform great deeds. Over time, the Brotherhood grew into a major religious movement. Its preachers took a vow of poverty and walked the roads of Golarion, helping the needy, convincing villains to change their ways and treating both good and evil deities alike to be more merciful to mortal kind. Soon after the war, the tireless research of all things researchable embarked on a new journey. She had a sudden urge to know how long it would take to visit every nation on Golarion. The only evidence of the events in Nunya's eyes, you never became a person whose name is worth remembering. Unfortunate. Yeah, I didn't do the companion quest, that's why. That happened to her during the 5th Crusade is a short article in the Encyclopedia Golarianica recounting the end of the plane emerging experience of the great Areelu Vorlesh. Shortly after the conclusion of the 5th Crusade, Areelu's body was discovered at one of his estates. He failed to gain Darren's trust and did not pay enough attention to his goals and problems. His head was missing and any attempts to find it proved futile. Even though I romanced him at some point. Like, not on purpose, but like... Okay. To his own surprise, Kip kept Roach from embracing his demonic legacy and proved that he can rely on you. Urged Jeff to become a war hero. Esteem and fame were shortly followed by great wealth. The tiefling did not let his newfound fortune turn his head, but chose to invest the money in several profitable ventures and one charity for sweet oceans. Within a few years, his signature style came to include a top hat, a cane, and a bit of a belly. Oh god. After the victory, Sociel returned home, now a famed crusader hero. He humbly officiated at the Temple of Shellin, painted through sweet-smelling fruits, and made the best wine in the region. His former kindly smile returned less and less often. He avoided talking to about the war, and when people asked him about his brother's fate, convinced that his brother is a true hero, he just curtly replied that Trevor had never been killed by demons. After spending so much time with the commander's company and in the presence of her mythic powers, Sociel's paintings always turned out vivid, unreal, almost alive. One day, while sorting out through his old sketches on the Worldwound, he was surprised to find details he did not recall. Trees grew where there had been only wasteland, and dried up riverbeds were now filled with water. Intrigued, Sociel journeyed to the places he had sketched and discovered his works perfectly reflected the regeneration of the land. During the war, Sociel met an engineer by the name of Aaron Keir. That meeting turned into friendship, which turned into love. And then it was a time for a wedding. Later the cleric would say that the only memory of his beloved had allowed him to cope with the terrors of the abyss and keep his sanity. Having received an invitation to the wedding, Sela was torn about whether or not she should attend. She felt her opinions that the friend's wedding would be a bad omen. In the end, she overcame her fears and it was well worth it. Her stories and army songs were the highlight of the festivities. After the war, Gabriel went off on his personal conquest. He traveled to Alish and Shira and killed 4 candidates for the position of the head of the Assassin's Guild. You helped Gabriel to take... okay, yeah. Where Api rightfully took the position himself and became a prominent figure in the Midnight Isle. Under his leadership, the guild prospered, and the denizens of many plains would shudder whenever they heard the innocent phrase, "sweet dream." Areelu had changed her nature, completely ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up residence in a small house away from her settlements. Shortly afterwards, rumors began to spread. Some said that there was a kind sorceress living in a cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint. And people would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time, she earned the trust and friendship. Another of the commander's companions, Sela of the Palo, visited her sister in arms on a number of occasions to share tales of her latest adventures. Their meetings were always joyful and their conversations long and heartfelt. What of me, the writer of these words, the half-demon witch known as the architect of the Worldwound. I was defeated and fell at the hand of the one I had tried to transform. My experience ended in failure and my life ended along with it. I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma. That's Lady Pharasma, the goddess, okay? Lady of Graves, not only of my life, but of the commander also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess' curiosity. Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess. Sensing the boneyard. The Lady of Graves is waiting a decision, and it seems the entire universe is holding its breath awaiting an announcement. Who would dare to break the silence absolute? Does not deliver a verdict. You wrought great evil. While it stemmed from the evil that was done to you, your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. I shall send you to the abyss, plain and of pain and fury, suffering and privation. That which you have done to others will now be done to you, so be it. I can't believe it. Oof. I never thought I finished the game today. I've thought like this is around 5 to 6 hours again. But okay, we did it in like... we did it in like... yeah, 2.5? 3? Like we are on 3.5 now. Okay. To be honest, I didn't expect this ending. Like obviously there's more endings than that. It's just Pathfinder. Like, you know, you can probably, if you don't kill yourself and rescue it, yeah, you probably have something else to do afterwards, or like whatever. You know, there's probably secret endings too. But like that's just my ending for the Azata path and what I did. Yeah, short review again, just like for Pathfinder Kingmaker. I love it. Like, I love this game. Like the game is great. I can tell. Like okay, Like the game itself, it's obviously like a better version of Pathfinder Kingmaker. Like it's much better when it comes to like UI stuff and understanding abilities. Obviously, it's probably better if you play Kingmaker first and you have like an easier time in Wrath to Righteousness. But even though it's like, if you probably don't play Kingmaker first, like you have still a... Like you still have an easy time. Like it's way better like explained and such. Like even I understood like some stuff in Kingmaker still not, even though I played once through it. And I got much more out of this game. That's just fact. That's just like the UI building. Like even I always mention this, like the scrolls where they have like a little feather in the corner that you know, like, oh yeah, you can learn this one. That's just not the case in Kingmaker. It's just, yeah, there's just like one thing which is like just like UI changes, like the camera switching. Like in Kingmaker, you have always the same angle. Like the camera switching in Pathfinder, and even though that they used it in Alishin Shira to switch the areas, that's great. Like I love that part, like for real. Like to be honest, I've gotta say, like I love the whole game. Like the game is great and everything is like great. The only thing which I don't like enjoy a lot is the crusade stuff. It's just like, it is cool because like something different, but like I was more for the kingdom management. I think the kingdom management was more fun than the crusader stuff. Like the crusader stuff was really like something which is like, I think you have to do it on the first playthrough, but I think on the next playthroughs you just don't have to, because like it is a really, really long like a really long addition to the game. It takes a lot of hours just to play the Crusader part. And I've got to say, I don't have to play it again. It's just like the Crusader part was kind of good. Like I love Heroes of Might and Magic, but it's like, yeah. But like in this game, it was like more, I wanted to have more of the story of the characters. Like there's a lot of like origin stuff and how you see like in those companion quests and how to unlock companions and different stuff. Like there's so many mythic paths, like you have to do so much. And if you play this game with like every playthrough a complete crusade as well, like poof, I would not do that. That's just like, no. Even though it's like not too bad, it was like okay. And at some point it was like really cool even. But like it was, yeah, it was like pretty time consuming, which I wouldn't do again probably. The game itself, like story-wise, great. Like it's just great. Like I think every part of this game was like awesome. Of course, like sometimes you're just like, oh god, shit again. Like this guy is so much AC. It's like challenging even in a normal. Like this is normal. If you're not used to the classes, to like how most of the things work. If your composition is not that great, if you don't buff and stuff, it's just like Pathfinder stuff, like normal thingies. But in general, as I said, like it was fun trying out new stuff, trying out new. The only thing like I played the same as a Kingmaker was a bard, and everything else was like literally. I didn't even play a bard in Kingmaker, I guess. Or like maybe I played some Lindsay, but like I've never played especially a bard like this. I played a druid in Kingmaker, sorry. So yeah, I've tried something else. I've tried like new, like the new companions and such. I just bought like one cleric mercenary to have like a healer for the whole game. And I wanted to stay with like the origin characters afterwards, just because, you know, the origin characters have like great stories, and I tried to do single one of them. Just Nenu was like too much to do. But yeah, as I said, like if I would literally say, like, I think the last part right now with Areelu Vorlesh, the fight at the end was good, but not like exceptional. I've got to say, I've liked the nymph fight with like the Lantern King at the end and Kingmaker more, because it was like a little bit more flashy, I would say. It was like just... I would have loved if like this... There was an after scene, like for Rasma, I was like, oh cool, you're doing something else as well. And it was over. It was just sad. I thought like there's something else coming. Like probably there's another ending where you have to do some stuff afterwards, like maybe fighting for Asma or whatever. But like I didn't get this ending, which is sad. But yeah, still, as I said, like this game is great. I will definitely replay. I'm already replaying it on my Xbox. Like I do it already with like another Mythic Path, and I will play this game again on a harder difficulty or with like another part, like with another path like demon and such. I heard you can romance Nocticula at some point if you're like a demon, I think, which would be great. Not gonna lie, just to try it. Like I want to try at least like there's 10 Mythic Paths. I want to try at least like every Mythic Path once. And I'm like on Lich, and this one was like Azata. The next one I will try will probably be Angel for the good playthrough. And then another Evil for Demon. So, yeah. We've got to see how this works. But yeah, I'm gonna say the hours I put into it, I'm just gonna check this one. I'm not sure how many hours I put into it. But Fall Guys, let me just Pathfinder. 212 hours. Like I've played another one with like around 40. 45, I would say. So I've played around 170 hours on this game. Did I? It was one. I think. Nah, a bit less. I would say around 440. 140 to 150. I've got to see it in my recordings. But yeah, every minute was worth it. Like, not gonna lie, the game is just great. I can tell. Like, it's just I love the Pathfinder series already. Like the Kingmaker, yeah, made me fall in love with it. And this game is just like, I would say Kingmaker is 100%, and this game is like 150. It's just awesome. And yeah, I'm looking forward to play obviously more of this game for sure, with like different path stuff, and I'm probably uploading the other ones on YouTube too, just for the completion, I would say. Probably without commentary, but still, just that like there's, yeah, that I have to like some of the variety with the other paths you can take. So yeah, so far so good. As I said, like this game is for me personally, it's a 10/10, 10 out of 10. Great story, great gameplay, great idea. Great variety of classes. Like you can literally, like, how many classes are there? I would say like if you're counting down, I thought I saw a video like over 150 classes, different ones. Nah, this isn't. With like subclass and archetypes and such. That's just crazy. Like, so you have so many different kind of play styles. Like, of course, like they are overlapping a bit at some point, but like it's still, you can do whatever you want. Like you can be a fighter, you can be a sorcerer, you can be a buffer, you can be a bard, you can be whatever. You can be a combination of a monk with a bard combination. It's just like crazy. I just love it. So yeah. As said, 10 out of 10. I would say 12 out of 10. Thing is, like, I don't even get plagued by like bugs and such. Like in Kingmaker, there were some bugs. I couldn't complete the army request. I couldn't complete another companion quest on Kingmaker. It was like it's just like bugged. It didn't work. Didn't see the case here. Like at some point, it was just like a bit buggy between like turn-based and real time, but like nothing which I would say, oh, this game is not playable. No, it was okay. You just need to work around You just had to like press it twice to get like time-based again, turn-based again, and then it worked. It was working fine. It's just like the sudden switching was like not working at some point, but it's still decent. It was great. As I said, like best experience ever, and I'm currently doing another playthrough, just for me, just for fun. And yeah, I will probably cover a lot more of Pathfinder on this channel. Like for real, I will probably replay Kingmaker as well at some point. I will replay this game for sure at some point. So yeah, but like obviously not right now because I want to go on with other stuff. Plague Tale Requiem is the next one because I didn't thought I finished this one this weekend. So probably tomorrow I'm playing a little bit of Plague Tale Requiem. So yeah, as said, we're going to this one. Here we are, done with Pathfinder. I'm still a little bit sad, like I could have probably do another 100 hours into this game with like story and such. I would just like, I would go endless on this game probably. Okay, so yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.